over here, you are required to give both similarity and difference, okay? Okay, now when you are giving this kind of similarity and comparisons, it should be one-to-one comparisons. Okay, so what does this mean? You write each similarity and each difference one by one. Okay, you can't write, like, let's say, everything you know about your voluntary action in one chunk, and then once you're done, you write everything you know about reflex action in another chunk. Okay, because that way it is very, very hard for your examiner to, you don't want your examiner to have to like look at your answer very, very carefully and like scour out which ones are like your points, and like, like maybe when you're writing out in chunks, you might miss a point, or like one of your points might be incomplete, and it's just not fun all around lah, okay? So just remember, when you're writing your comparisons, there should be a one-to-one comparison. So one sentence, just only 1 point of comparison. Okay, 1 point of comparison, what is that? Okay, when you're comparing something, you have to be comparing the same thing. Okay, so you guys see. Okay, I have a Biscoff and a Wang Wang. Okay, yes. I'm comparing these two. Okay, comparison. Both are biscuits. Okay, comparison. This is beige, orange. This is brown. Okay, now I'm comparing color. Okay, one has 1 piece inside, one has 2 pieces. Okay, that's my point of comparison. Okay, I'm comparing the same thing. Okay, it's not right for me to say this is brown and this has 2 pieces inside the packet. That makes no sense, right? So same concept, when you're comparing things, there has to be a very clear point of comparison. Okay? Okay, now oops. Okay. Now this is a 4-mark question. So I would ideally you should be giving 2 similarities and 2 differences. But if you cannot think of, maybe you cannot think of another similarity, you give another difference, they should accept as well. Okay, but ideally try to give equal. Okay, now let's look at this answer. So this student has 4 points, but let's look at what went wrong. Okay, let's look at the first point. So both involve the nervous system. What's wrong here? Anyone can give any critiques? Vague. That's basically it lah. The answer is too vague and it's too simple. Okay, there's basically no substance. So if the examiner looked at it, like, does it even show that the student studied? That there's no keywords whatsoever inside the answer as well. Okay, so how would I make this better? Okay, over here, I would write both involve nerve impulses. Okay, that travel through the nervous system. Okay, why did I write this? This is a very important keyword. Okay, so just like life hack, whenever you're writing an answer, just add as much keywords. Make sure your answer is jam-packed full of keywords. Okay, so that your examiner knows that you know your stuff. Okay, as long as it's correct, it has to be conceptually correct. Okay, but yeah, that you're not gonna be penalized for having more keywords than required, right? So just add as much as possible. Okay. Okay, now there is one more addition that I will add to the first statement. Okay, nervous system. We have 2 types of your nervous system, right? What are the 2 types? It's not just nervous system, right? What are these 2 types of your nervous system? Okay, Wenchen, you got it? Yes, very, very good. Okay. Central and peripheral. Okay, more keywords that I'm adding in. Okay, both of them involve a neuron that causes the muscle to contract. Okay, what's the problem here? There are multiple issues over here. So maybe just Okay, very good, Kendra. Didn't specify the neuron. Very, very good. So this answer's a bit vague, right? Involve a neuron. Like which neuron? What neuron? You know, what's the neuron that causes, you know, your muscle to contract? What is this neuron? Can you guys let me know? Yes, very good, Wenxuan. Motor neuron. Yes, good, Kendra. Okay, so that's our first issue. Okay, next. Let me ask you guys a question. Are muscles the only kind of effector organs that we can have? Yes or no? Just tell me true or false. Okay, Wenxuan says false. Kendra, what do you think? Yes. Okay, both of you are correct. Okay, muscles aren't the only kind of effector organs. Okay, what else could it be? What else could it be? Could also be, okay, it starts with a G. Kind of organ. Okay, it can also be your glands. Okay, now you think about it. So someone puts this piece of biscuit in front of me. I look at it with my eyes. My brain is like, oh, it's time to eat. Yummy. I want to eat right now, right now, right now. Yum, yum, yum. Okay, and then what will happen to in my mouth? I start salivating, right? Because my salivary glands, they start becoming more active because they want to eat. Correct? Okay, so it can also be your glands. Okay, so it's not just muscles that are your effector organs. Okay? So this answer is therefore too specific. Okay, so it's, you know, being too big is a problem, being too specific is a problem also. So you really need to find a middle ground. Okay, yeah. So a better word to use here would be effector. Okay. Now, if I change the muscle to effector, can I still use the word contract? No, right? Because does your glands contract? No. Okay. So I will have to change this one as well. I will change it to cause the response. Okay, something that is less specific but still conceptually correct. Okay. Okay, now moving on to the third point. So the transmission speed is faster for a reflex action than a voluntary action. Now, what's the problem here? Okay, first things first. I'm gonna ask you guys a question, okay? Is the transmission speed for a reflex action faster than a voluntary action? Is that true or false? So in essence, is this statement as it is true or false? Okay, interesting. Now, this is actually a very common conceptual error, okay? So transmission speed is actually the same. But okay, it is true that reflex actions are usually faster than voluntary actions, which it makes sense, right? So because like reflex action is like, if I touch something hot, of course my body would like want to, you know, retract as fast as possible. But the reason why a reflex action is faster than a voluntary action is because, okay, two reasons, okay? Okay. I will fix the front part first. Okay, now, two reasons. Number one, okay? It's the pathway that your nerve impulses take, okay? Is the shortest. Okay, the pathway that your nerve impulses travel is always the shortest possible pathway for a reflex action. Okay, so it's not about the speed, it's about the distance. Understand? Okay, is the shortest possible pathway from receptor to effector. Okay, now we just define, along your reflex arc. So you can just say shortest possible pathway along the reflex arc. Okay? Okay, so that's the first reason. And I would say that's the bigger reason. Or like maybe the more intuitive one. Okay, there's one more. You guys want to give it a try? So why? Why do you think, if not for, your speed, why do you think your reflex action is usually faster than your voluntary action? Any guesses? Okay, you can just try. If it's wrong also, only I will know, right? Just try to, try to think about it. So, like the differences between, your reflex action and your voluntary action. Okay, there's no need for something. For your reflex action. There's no need for... It's a two-word phrase that I'm thinking of. And it happens... Okay, one trend, you got it. Okay, this is your keyword. Voluntary is conscious. Okay? So, reflex action, there is no need for conscious processing. Okay? So, for a voluntary action, I need to think about it first, correct? But for your reflex actions, it just happens. It's just like snap, and it happens. Okay? So, of course, your reflex action would be faster in that aspect. Understand?